there and making plays, and our guys did just that, and were able to come out with a win. A lot of offense, obviously, on both sides. Not a lot of defense on either side, but it was good to get the win, and really for our seniors, it was awesome to see them be able to play their last game in Rice Eccles and go out with a win, and that was probably the biggest positive of the night, was the afternoon, was seeing that happen. A lot of really good individual performances on offense. Devin Dampier was outstanding. Did miss a few throws early, but settled in and really played an excellent game, over 300 yards, well over 300 yards of total offense. Wayshawn Parker hit 100 yards again. Bird Ficklin added his usual positive things to the game, a couple touchdowns and some really good runs. Offensive line, again, did a nice job, rushed for almost 300 yards. So a lot of good things on offense. Obviously not our best game on defense. Got really, there's no real easy explanation to it. I mean, we just did not play the run game in any way, shape, or form with any consistency, with any degree of it just wasn't good, and we were doing everything we could do wrong. We did. We didn't fit the run gaps like we're supposed to. We didn't tackle like we usually do. We weren't as physical as we usually are in the front seven. So a lot of things that were just just happened, and I guess that happens on rare occasions. But I got no doubt that those guys will bounce back this week, and they're a prideful group and have a lot of competitiveness in them, and so we'll hopefully get that thing turned back around and where it should be for this week. Kansas, got a road trip to Kansas to finish off the regular season. A lot like the team we just played, personnel-wise, physical, got some athletic guys, and so there's a lot of carryover from the last few games. There's a lot of carryover in this game from both sides of the football schematically, that things that we've seen, and so we got to be ready. It's a Friday kickoff, so a short week. Got one day less to prepare, as do they, so there's no advantage one way or the other there. But looking for the opportunity to win a 10th game in the regular season, which I can't remember the last time we were able to do that, but it's been a few years, I believe. So anyway, questions?
Got Justin's question here.
Okay.
Last one of the year. After this historic win on Saturday, congrats on this historic win on Saturday. Joe Jackson, though, broke multiple records by 293 yards at Rice Eccles Stadium. Do you have a plan that will rectify this issue as we take on the Jayhawks this Friday?
We sure hope so, and yeah, he did a lot of damage, and it was really on one play, A-gap power, just a basic, one of the most basic plays in football. There was nothing elaborate about the schemes, nothing that took us by surprise. Again, we just didn't fit the run game up at all, and it was an historically bad day defending the run. So yeah, we certainly got to have a better answer than we had last week.
And then after the game, you kind of showed some rare emotion there. What
Yeah.
was it about was it the moment, the way that game transpired, or what kind of brought that up?
Not really. It's just the seniors, and you want them so badly to go out on a positive note and have they've been so instrumental to our success for a lot of years, that group, and have provided such great leadership this year, and been so just have done such a great job of keeping things on track, and just wanted them to be able to go out the right way, and against all odds they did, and it looked like for a minute it wasn't going to happen, and so they were able to do that, and that got the best of me. I don't usually get too emotional, and that did get the best of me. You're right.
Obviously, you have a decision to make about your future.
Mm-hmm.
What are the main factors that go into that decision? Is that something you start thinking about now, or is that something?
No, that's an after the season thing. After the when it's all said and done, and whatever happens to us in the postseason, whichever situation we find ourselves in, as soon as everything's culminated, and you have a few days or maybe even a week or two to sit back and evaluate and see where you're at and go from there. So I guess that's the best answer I can give you right now.
Kyle, you guys left the Kansas State game a bit banged up. John Henry Daly, Ryan Davis, and I think even Spencer Fano. Are any of those season-ending or any of those long-term? Just walk me through that.
John Henry is long-term. Unfortunately, it's a season-ending injury, and felt bad for him. He was having a monster game. I think he was only 15 snaps in, and he had 4 or 5 impact plays, and so just tough to see that happen to John Henry. That's why I say it all the time. It's the worst part of college football is the injuries and seeing these guys, go down, and so he unfortunately is long-term. The other guys wait and see. We'll have the injury report. I don't know since it's a short week if it comes out on Tuesday or Wednesday. Usually it's Wednesday, but I don't know if it'll be Tuesday. Okay, so you'll find out tomorrow, and we'll find out more as the days go by here.
Coach, to follow up on that, you had players step up in their place, John Henry Daly and Ryan Davis, speaking of Cash and Lance, and then on offense with Larry and Creed.
Mm-hmm.
What can you say of those guys' performance stepping up?
Did a nice job, and all of them. You mentioned the guys that really picked up the slack. Creed has really come into his own these last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, and even though he hasn't played a ton, just his practice, the way he's performing in practice, the things that were lacking in spring and earlier in the season have he's made those weaknesses become strengths, and so it was very positive to see him be able to come in and really give us a little bit of a spark. Cash Dillon is a guy that we think has a tremendous upside. He's played quite a few snaps already this year, but when we lost John Henry, it was up to him and Lance to come in and do some good things, and they both did, and so that's fortunate for us that we had depth at those positions.
Kyle, at this point last year, you guys were eliminated from bowl contention.
I was miserable at this point last year. Yeah, we all were.
So can you
Maybe
speak,
some people were happy. I don't know. Maybe some
can you
people were
speak to
happy.
just the turnaround, because now you guys are pushing for your first 10-win regular season since 2019.
2019. Okay.
Can you just talk about the turnaround that one calendar year has provided to this team?
Yeah. Well, again, credit the seniors for not having a hangover after the season. I guess you can say not only do you have hangovers after after games, you can have a little bit of a hangover after a season, and they would have none of that. We started off the off season on a very positive note way back in January, and again, due to their great leadership, and they're instrumental in getting things turned around. I mean, that's the real bottom line to what the success this season really is hinged upon, is the ownership that the players have taken in the program. Hey, Wes, I thought you were retired. Close? All right.
When are we golfing?
Soon.
Let's go.
Soon.
The last couple of years, your defense is the one that's kept you guys in games. And
Right.
It's a struggle. And the last couple of weeks, it's been the other way around. It's got to feel bizarre to you.
It's a departure, and certainly we had our struggles last year on defense, and again, those, not to belabor the point, we going on your 5th quarterback in the last game didn't help our cause at all, but we still played really good defense this year. I think we're probably 3rd in the league in most categories: scoring defense, total defense, all the major categories, and so we're still playing good defense, but we're playing really good offense this year. Our offense is 1st, 2nd, or 3rd in most every category as well, and that's what has lent itself to a good season. And you're right, typically it's when we get in those tough games in the past, it was low-scoring defensive battles, but the offense has done a really good job this year of putting points on the board. In fact, that was probably the biggest difference in the game Saturday, is we were 6 for 6 in the red zone, 6 touchdowns and 6 trips, and that's outstanding. We got one of the top, I got to believe we're in the top 5 or 6 in the nation in red zone touchdown percentage offensively. I don't have that stat at the tip of my fingers, but that was probably the biggest difference in the game.
You had 4 guys take direct snaps, whether it was Dampier, Ficklin, Johnson, Parker. Well, what does that do to a defense when they kind of don't know who to prepare for, who's going to have the ball first?
Exactly, and that's part of Jason's creativity and the way he game plans, and it's all designed to create matchup problems and show things that we haven't shown before, which are difficult for the defense but fit into what we're doing offensively, so there's not a huge learning curve for our guys. It's just a matter of using all your weapons to the utmost, and he has a real gift for that, Jason does, as far as putting kids or players in position to succeed and putting the defense in conflict.
Coach, you lead the country in red zone touchdown.
We do.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. What is it? It's got to be 80% or better.
82%.
82%, which
Above Georgia.
that's huge. That is huge.
Can you talk about Devin Dampier and what he showed in that fourth quarter after battling through kind of a rough game to make the plays that he did?
That's who he is. You talk about a fierce competitor and a guy that never, ever even thinks about getting down on himself or anybody else. He's always positive, and it was manifest in that fourth quarter in particular. And what a great leader he is. I can't say enough good things about him and what he's meant to the program in the short time he's been here.
Over your tenure, you've always wanted to establish the run, but this year you have a chance to potentially break the school record in total rushing yards in the regular season. What does that mean just for you personally and also just for this team to be able to have that?
Well, for me personally, I love the physicality of the game, and there's nothing more that demonstrates physicality than running the football and defending the run. And if we're, what is the record? I don't know, how close are we? I don't know.
About 180, I believe.
Okay, well, I would say first of all, or second of all, that the offensive line is really the driving impetus behind that. I mean, we got a really good athletic quarterback that runs the ball well. We've got, Wayshawn Parker's come into his own, but without an offensive line that can do the things that our guys have done all year, that stuff doesn't happen. And so that's a real credit to them and Jim Harding and the job he's done with those guys.
How would you evaluate Jason Beck this season? How has he helped?
A plus.
run this offense?
A plus. We're only 11 games in, so we got one to go. I say only, we got one to go, but Jason has really been a huge positive force, and then the influx of the transfer portal guys have helped boost us as well. And then, but again, it all starts with a solid offensive line, and so yeah. But Jason's done a phenomenal job this year. Statistically, that is borne out in the numbers as well.
You always struck me as a guy who doesn't worry about the things that you can't control.
That's a good analysis. Yeah, I'll take that.
But now you're in the changing landscape of college football, you're spending a lot of time and money investing in players that at the end of the year could be gone. How frustrating as a head coach has that become to you?
Well, it's a radical departure from how it used to be, and you used to know who 90+% of your roster is going to be from year to year as the guys go in and out. But now it's there's so much change, and you better be on top of your game. You better have a good list of portal guys already put together, before the season ends to see, hey, if this guy hits the portal, we're definitely going to be interested in keep an eye out for that. And so I can't really say that. You just have to embrace the change because you can't do anything about it. As you said, don't worry about what you can't control. So the portal is here. It's here to stay, in my opinion. And so you better embrace it and navigate it and use it to your advantage. And I think we've done a pretty good job. I really feel like our net portal results are way in the positive column than the negative column as far as who we lost and who we've gained.
Say two more.
Kyle, piggybacking off of that, the portal window through January of last year, just with so many decisions to be made, it's kind of like you can't get a breath. But now there's sort of that dead period. Does that help when you're making decisions in terms of maybe say retirement or player retainment and all of that stuff? How does that change your guys' process?
Yeah, we think it's going to help. Now, it's the first time through it with this format, so something's going to rear its ugly head, we're sure. But it seems to make more sense now than it ever has since the advent of the portal. And so as we navigate it and go through it, I'll have better feedback for you, in a couple months than I do right now. But yeah, you gotta a chance now to take, as you said, a breather and time to evaluate, visit with your players, your roster, and try to retain your roster and find out what guys' plans are. And so it's I think it appears to be a real solid move on the Rules Committee part to structure it that way.
Last one from Samantha.
Blake has had an insane season. He's had, he's been top of PFF's coverage grades for you guys this season. Can you just speak about the importance of him in the secondary this year?
Yeah, case in point, I talk about the guys we've gained in the portal. He's one of them, Blake Cotton, and has been instrumental to our success on defense. As you mentioned, his statistics and the PFF stuff is all very good on him, and that's just another example of a guy coming in and contributing right away, and he's just been a huge positive. I hope he gets some postseason accolades because he sure deserves it, in my opinion. Okay, that's a wrap. Do we have one of these next week? Or are we done? No. All right, guys, we'll see you again sometime.
Pizza all in.